So I guess I want to check in because I live in Florida now in Jacksonville, and Sam's all the way out on the left coast. So I have to ask and get a status update on the pulse of the fan base in Cincinnati after
Here we
the
go.
big slice of, I think, humble pie that Joe Burrow got this weekend, and the team.
Yeah.
What's the fan base like in Cincinnati, and how are they feeling?
The pulse of the fan base as we speak on October 15th is people are starting to turn on Zach Taylor. That's starting to happen. People are not turning on Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is, at this point, seemingly infallible to the fan base. No matter what he does, it's not his fault. Any mistake he makes, it must have been the offensive line or the coach's fault. And that's fine. That's okay. You know, people are going to prop Joe Burrow up for being the number one pick, for being the quote-unquote savior of the franchise. And I've done an about-face a bit on Joe Burrow. When he came in, I had questions. I wondered about a guy who couldn't get the starting job at Ohio State, who couldn't outduel J.T. Barrett to get the starting job at Ohio State. But I think that says more about Urban Meyer than it does Joe Burrow, just the kind of quarterback he wanted to play. And then went to LSU, had an average year, and then just exploded. And then just went nuts for his final year, won the Heisman set records, won the national championship. I was wondering, okay, is this guy more what he was the first 4 years of college, or is he what he was his final year of college when he looked like the next coming of whatever great quarterback you want to pick out?
Right.
So when he showed up, I was curious. Training camp, he was accurate. He was timely with the ball. He wasn't accurate deep. I was like, gosh, the Bengals need somebody to come in.
And we don't see that. We don't see that because before we could all get on there. And not even like in the games, but in training camp, all you see pumped out is just like these short slants and like as a fan base. So that's amazing that you just alluded to that. We didn't see what was going on. Like normally they'd have Lap and Horde on the field or whatever content Fox on teams putting out. And we could kind of it's like almost, okay, I did not know that he was not accurate deep in training camp. I did not know that was a thing.
That was a big talking point between Jeremy Rao and myself, even, just in conversations like this or a conversation on TV, that he looks every bit what we expected him to look, but they're not making plays down the field. And the whole point of what I'm trying to say here is I was curious if Joe Burrow was going to be ready to win. I didn't think so. I thought this year was going to be all about Joe Burrow's development and nothing to do with wins and losses. After watching him play a few weeks, I've gone reverse course. Joe Burrow is a ready-made winner, ready to win at this level, but the organization is not ready to win with him at this point. I don't know if that's Zach Taylor. I tend to believe it's more front office, personnel, talent problem than it is coaching problem. But right now, the pulse of the fan base is Zach Taylor over his head? Was Zach Taylor more of a coordinator than he is a head coach? Those are the questions right now we're trying to figure out. To me, I think it's hard to empirically prove either way if Zach Taylor's the problem or if it's a talent problem. I think football's too intricate. It's too complex for the average person to look at and say, oh, that's a coaching problem. That's a scheme problem. Or is that a talent personnel problem? At this point, I lean more to the fact that they just don't have the horses right now around Joe Burrow to be successful more than I am that Zach Taylor's over his head, because I do think Zach Taylor is got the right temperament for the job. I think he's a very intelligent football mind. We can sit here and argue whether he has the it factor it takes to be a leader of men, especially professionals, and that'll be played out here over the next year and a half, however long he has. Because the rope will get really short really quick if you keep losing the way he's losing right now. But, yeah, that's kind of the pulse right now. How much is it Zach Taylor? How much is it personnel at this point? And I don't really think people really know.